Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. We've got Shanti here and accounted for, and Musketeer just came running down the stairs. Right on time. I hope you guys have been enjoying, at least those of you that are in the Pacific Northwest, enjoying some sunshine. It's been a very beautiful couple of days. Good morning, Neil and Jean. Good morning, Lisa. Glad to have you guys here. Our crew's all here and ready for yoga. I hope you are too. This is going to be a Saturday morning flow that is pretty steady on the movement. So we're going to kind of build into a flow this morning. It just feels like with the energy of the sunshine for those of us in the Northwest and the full moon this week, it just feels like a good time to move and build a little energy for your weekend. So with that, I'm going to invite you at any point that you feel like you just need to be still or slow down a little bit for you to take those breaks throughout practice this morning. This is a great time to show up for yourself and to really just feel and observe and notice what it is that you need and how you're feeling, to connect with yourself without all of the excess stuff, right? The demands, the responsibilities, the interactions. It's just you, yourself, and you. Maybe a couple fur children. You guys are just like, it's like we coordinated this. We didn't. You guys are killing it today. And to give yourself that time to check in with yourself and to give yourself what you need. All right, so that's where we're headed. If that means you lay on your mat, good morning, Mom. The family's all here. If that means you lay on your mat for the next hour and just drink your coffee and listen to the not so soothing sound of my voice, then that is a great way to spend your Saturday morning. All right, so I put the playlist in the chat. If you want to play some music with us, now would be a good time to start that. Good morning, Em. Yay. And we are going to get started on our backs, assuming you have room on your mat to do that. Ironically, we are going to start this morning in a pose that a friend of mine calls dog is hogging the bed pose. So as you lie down, we're going to come into banana pose this morning to get started. And so we're going to take the legs out long if you can to straight. You could also do this with legs bent. And let's take your arms up overhead. And just start by getting really long here. Kind of stretching like maybe you just woke up, which for some of you, maybe you did. And then we're going to slide both of your legs to the right. And both of your arms to the right. And what I tend to see when we do this pose is that people kind of want to roll to the right side of their body. I want you to keep your whole back flat on the ground. And you're just going to sort of arch your limbs to the right, like you're stretching out the left side body. And if it's too much on your shoulders to have those arms straight overhead, go ahead and just bend your elbows a little bit. And if you want a little bit more, then maybe you cross your left ankle on top of your right ankle. We're going to start here with some breaths in this banana pose. The whole left side of your body elongated here just a bit. If you're feeling some tension of the neck today and this week, Christine asked for some neck and shoulder stretches. You might turn your head a little to the right and let that left shoulder get a little heavier. And let's take a big full breath in, fill up. And a full breath out, let it go. Let's take just a few more breaths here as we settle in. And I want you to take this opportunity in this moment to feel what you need to feel. What is present in your body in terms of sensation that you need to notice and pay attention to? What is it present energetically or emotionally that you need to feel and notice and pay attention to this morning? And then we're just going to banana when you're ready to that other side. So we'll take the legs back through center. Legs to the left. Arms to the left. Again, your back body is flat on the ground. You can have a small bend to the elbows to make this a little more relaxing for your shoulders. And you can also place that right ankle on top of the left. Just make it a banana pose that feels good in your body. And let's head right back into that breath and that stillness that allows us to feel, to notice, to observe. Because that's hopefully what we're doing here in our practice and on our mats. Yes, we move our body. Yes, we stretch and strengthen. But hopefully we also, amongst that, get still enough and inwardly silent enough that we can feel and notice the things that maybe get pushed aside as we go about our day and acting like everything is normal and a-okay. One more full breath here. And then let's bring it back to center. We'll uncross the legs if you have those legs crossed. Take your arms up overhead. Get super, super long again. And let's start to turn your toes so they point up toward the sky. Instead of letting those toes and legs roll open, let's turn the legs so that the toes point straight up. And again, for this whole sequence that we're about to do here, if your shoulders are not happy when your arms are straight overhead, goalpost is a great option. Soft bend to the knees or elbows is a good option. But just have some sort of overhead, easy placement of those arms. Let's get really long through your heels. Feel like you're elongating the body an inch or two by getting long from the heels to the fingertips. And then some of you are going to stay here and just keep getting long. And some of you are going to push into your left heel so that that left leg is really rooted and begin to float your right foot an inch or two off the ground. And instead of just thinking up, I want you to think up and out. So it's an elongation of that leg. Does not need to be a super high leg, like just an inch or two. Less is more. And then just put that foot back down. It's the morning, no need to torture ourselves. And let's push into that right heel, lift the left leg an inch or two. And again, instead of just thinking about up, think up and out. And then put that heel back down. Now let's take that left heel, push it down, and let's all float the right heel an inch off the ground. We're not going to stay here. We're going to start to move. So just bring that leg up. And then as you inhale, let's bend your right knee, bring it in toward your chest. The arms are going to stay overhead. And then exhale, take that right leg back out to hover over the ground. And you don't have to straighten the leg all the way. The knee can stay a little bent if you want. And then as you inhale, we're going to take your right foot up toward the sky. We're building a pattern here. That leg's going to come up as high as it feels good to come up. Keep pressing into your left leg. And then exhale back to hover. Let's go through that 2 more times. So we'll inhale, bend the knee into the chest. Exhale, kick it out to hover. Inhale, foot to the sky. And exhale, hover. Last round. See if this can become really fluid and a little less strained. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale, kick it out. Inhale to the sky. And exhale, lower. Some of you let the heel come to the ground. Some of you keep it lifted. 2 more breaths. Some of you bring your left leg up as well. So both heels are off the ground, lengthening forward. And then at the end of the next exhale, everyone, both feet to the ground. And feel that moment where everything just releases and gets heavy into the ground. And then let's do that on the other side. So inhale, get long, toes to the sky, press into that right heel. Float your left leg off the ground. And then as you inhale, bend your left knee, bring it in. Exhale, kick it out to hover. Inhale, left leg any amount up to the sky. Exhale, bring it down. 2 more there, letting it get more and more fluid each time you move. Bring it in, kick it out. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, knee to chest. Kick it out, exhale. Foot any amount to the sky, inhale. And lower, exhale. We'll keep that leg floating if that makes sense. Some of you just let the heel come to the ground, get long. Some of you stay with one heel lifted. Some of you, right leg lifts. Instead of just thinking up, think up and out. And then again, at the end of your exhale, feel that moment where everything comes to the ground and releases. Big inhale, get long. One more time. And then as you exhale, let's bring the knees into the chest. Reach down, hug onto your legs. Give yourself a little rock side to side. Let the floor beneath you provide a massage because it's the best we're going to get right now. Unless you happen to be sheltering in place with a massage therapist. And then let's start to roll up and down your spine. And we're going to make our way up and over into table pose, any way that works for you. Hey, buddy. So as you find your table pose, you might pet your cat's belly. But we're ultimately going to move into cat-cow. So inhale, belly down, head and heart up. That's your inhale. And then exhale, round your spine into cat. It's your pose, musketeer. Let's do 2 more just like that. Inhale, belly down, head and heart up, waking up the spine. Exhale, round, let the head fall forward. I'm glad you enjoyed that, Katie. One more time. Cow pose. And cat pose. All right, let's start to make that a little bit bigger movement. So inhale, come into cow, feel that belly drop. And then as you exhale, we're going to round into cat, but we're going to pull your hips back toward your heels like you're heading back to child's pose. But just hover over the heels there. And then inhale, come back up, table, and right into cow. Let's do that 2 more times. Exhale, cat, back to child's. Really root into your hands, root into your shins. Inhale, table into cow. And exhale one more time, cat into child's. And then we'll come back up towards your table, maybe a little hint of cow. Let's tuck the toes under, root into each and every knuckle, and let's take your hips up and back, downward facing dog. And as you find that down dog, let's take a little wag in your tail. You can channel and honor your favorite 4-legged canine friend. Maybe pedal your feet a little bit, but let the head be really heavy. And allow the hips to start to feel high like a mountaintop. And then the line from wrists to hips and the line from hips to heels are getting longer and longer. Inhale, let's rise up onto your tippy toes, let the heels lift. And then exhale, let those heels descend toward the earth. They don't have to touch, just let them drop. One more time there, inhale, lifting. And exhale, lowering. And then let's rise up onto your tippy toes. Start to look toward your hands. And we're going to take as many steps as it takes to get to the front of your mat. Knees can bend as much as you need them to. And when you get to the front of the mat there, let's bring your fingers to your shins and just take a slow, leisurely halfway lift. Let the fingertips slide up the shins. Let's feel the shoulder blades draw away or draw toward each other, the shoulder heads away from the ground. And then exhale, just allow yourself to completely drape over your legs. Bend the knees enough that you feel that release, that tip forward in the low back. The spine is heavy, the head is heavy. And then bend your knees a lot. And let's roll up inch by inch by inch. All the way to standing. At the top, take a big shrug of your shoulders, forward, up, back, and down. And then let's take your hands to the sky, root into your feet as you reach up through the fingertips. Maybe close your eyes here for a moment. Start to feel your body stack, the bones of your body stacking one on top of the other until it feels like you are positioned in such a way where it's just really easy to exist. Body maybe feels a little lighter, a little less cranky. And then let's look up at your hands, press those palms together, and exhale, hands down into your heart. Inhale, let's reach up. Maybe the eyes follow the fingertips. Exhale, let's bow forward. Bend the knees as much as you need to let that low back tip forward. Fingers to shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Let the fingers slide up the legs. And then exhale, bow forward. Root into your feet. Inhale, rise up, reach up. And exhale, hands to heart. Letting the movement feel really fluid, really easy. almost graceful. It doesn't matter what it looks like, but can it feel that way from the inside? Inhale, hands go up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. And this time as you fold, let your hands find the ground. We're going to step back with your left leg. Watch out for your fur children. Sorry, buddy. That was really close. And then come on up into your lunge. Let those hands come on up over the hips, the shoulders over the hips. And then when you're ready, you found your stability. Let's take your arms, reach them forward. The left arm is going to stay forward and parallel to the ground. The right arm is going to drop down toward the floor and then any amount back. And then let's take it down and forward. We're going to do that 2 more times. So let's maybe inhale into the twist and just let it be really fluid. Try not to force, try not to strain, and then exhale, bring it down and back to the front. 1 more time, right hand down and back. And down and forward. And then we're going to keep the right arm where it's at. Take your left hand down and back, and we're going to open into warrior 2. So the shoulders are open toward the long edge of your mat. Right foot is pointing straight forward. As you settle here, let's keep the arms parallel to the ground and feel as though you've got something under those hands, maybe like these bookcases, to push down into to get the lats and the upper back to turn on. When you're ready, let's roll up onto the ball of your front foot. Let that right heel lift, and then let that heel come back down to the ground. And let's do that 2 more times. Heel lifts and lowers. Lifts and lowers. Let that heel root into the ground. Left hand down, the back leg, right hand up, reverse. And then as you exhale, we'll take hands down around your front foot, let your back heel lift. It does not need to be graceful, just find a way to sneak back into your downward facing dog. So as you find your down dog, some of you I'm going to invite to stay here. Some of you, let's all do this, but some of you might choose to stay here. Let's inhale, rise to the tippy toes, heels lift, and exhale, heels drop. You might stay there with that movement. Or if you want to keep moving and adding on this morning, as you inhale this next time, let's come forward to plank, top of a push-up. And let's all drop the knees to the ground behind the hips. Chaturanga, elbows point straight back as you lower to the belly. And at the ground there, go ahead and untuck your toes. Take that same shrug of your shoulders you did standing. So forward, up, back, and down to get into your baby cobra. And then exhale, fold forward. Press back into hands and knees, come up, table. And downward facing dog. Once you find that down dog, big full breath in. Full complete breath out. Taking a moment to notice, to observe, to feel what you need to feel. And we're going to rise up onto your tippy toes, look at your hands, take that same walk forward to the top of the mat. And once you're there, inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, bow forward. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Big full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale, hands reach up. And exhale, fold. Halfway lift, inhale. And we'll fold, right leg steps back this time, left leg stays at the front of the mat. When you're ready, we'll come on up into your lunge. Let the shoulders stack over the hips, the arms over the shoulders. And once you found your stability and your ease here, let's take those arms forward. We'll keep the right arm reaching forward, left arm drops down and back, down and forward. And just let there be as much ease and fluidity to the movement as possible. Try to feel a little less robotic or crunchy. Let's do it one more time. Hand down and back, down and forward. And then we'll keep your left arm forward and we'll take that right hand down and back as you ground your back heel and open into warrior two. Find that imaginary something beneath your hands to push down into. Get that upper back to fire on so that it almost feels like your collarbones are higher than the back of your shoulders. And then let's roll up onto the ball of your front foot. And then heel drops as you exhale. Inhale, roll up to the ball. And heel to the floor. One more time. Heel lifts. And drop. Let's reverse. Right hand down the back leg. Left hand reaches up. And we'll bring both hands down around your front foot. Any way that works for you will make your journey back. Downward facing dog. Option to be still here for a few breaths. Or as you inhale, rise up onto the tippy toes. And exhale, drop the heels. Option to stay there with that. Or inhale, plank. Knees up or down. We'll lower through Chaturanga. Elbows point straight back. Shoulders move away from the floor. All the way to the belly. Untuck your toes. Inhale, baby or high cobra, your choice. Exhale, right back down. Let's press up table. Some of you maybe plank. And downward facing dog. Big full breath in. Complete long breath out. As you inhale this next time, let's bend your knees, lift your heels, look forward. As you exhale, you can walk, step, or hop. Top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Full breath in. Long, complete breath out. As you inhale, let's take arms forward and seat back. So chair pose, but instead of hands to the sky, let's just take those arms forward. Should be a little easier on the neck and shoulders. And then some of you are going to stay here with this and just enjoy the chair pose experience this morning. Or we're going to keep your left arm forward to start. Take your right hand, drop it down and back. And as your right arm goes back, can your left hip move back? And then right arm down and forward. We're going to do that a couple times side to side. So left arm down and back, right hip moves back in space. Left hand down and forward. How about two more to each side? You can inhale or exhale into the twist. Do the one that feels the best in your movement in your body. Just make sure you're still breathing. And can you find those areas that feel a little forced and crunchy and help them to feel a little less forced and crunchy? Maybe it's how you move. Maybe it's a wider angle of the arm away from the body instead of straight back. One more on that left side. And then as that arm goes forward, let's straighten the legs. Reach the hands up to the sky. Maybe look up and exhale. Let's fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And then as you exhale, we're going to plant the hands and make your way back into downward facing dog. So some of you might step to plank and lower through that chaturanga. Take the back bend of cobra, and then we'll meet up in downward facing dog. If it makes sense in your body this morning, let's take your right leg lifted up and back. And then any way that works for you, right foot forward between your hands. Again, it doesn't need to be graceful. We're going to come up into your crescent lunge. And then once you're up, let's drop that back heel and open up warrior two. So you've been here before. We're going to keep your legs in warrior two with that front knee bent, knee and toes pointing forward. And let's inhale, reverse, left hand down the back leg, right hand reaches up. And then exhale, side angle, right elbow, right thigh, left hand either up or forward. Let's go back and forth there a couple times. So inhale, reverse. You can get creative with the arms if there are options you want to build on here. Exhale, side angle. One more, reverse. And side angle. And then let's come back up, warrior two, arms parallel to the ground. And we're going to turn your right toes to face the long edge of the mat. So you've got feet parallel, all 10 toes pointing to the side. And we're going to start to bend your left knee, your back leg. Let your hands come to the thigh. So the torso is leaning toward that left leg. Right heel is grounded, leg is long. And then let's just switch. Bend to the front leg, back leg straightens. So let's call this skater pose. Let's go back and forth a couple times. Moving at a pace that feels good to you. Let's do one more to your back leg, one more to the left. And then as you move toward that right leg, let's turn all 10 toes forward. Let your hands come to the floor and step your back foot to meet your front foot. Just make it work for you. Easy, fluid movement. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let's bend your knees, rise up, chair pose. And then root into those heels, straighten the legs, and bring your hands to your heart. Big full inhale here. Notice the breath. Feel and observe what you need to feel and observe. This practice is just one long conversation with yourself. Let's take your hands back behind you. We're going to clasp those hands together, webbing all of the fingers or just the thumbs. And then we're going to actually bend your elbows and try to move that clasp over into your right waist. So I'm mirroring you in this moment. If that works, you're going to hug the elbows together. If it doesn't work, release the clasp and just tuck your left arm into your back. With either of those, we're going to take your right ear toward your right shoulder and take a couple breaths here, releasing that left side of the neck and the transition from neck to shoulder. Some of you might drop into the perfect place right away. Some of you might need to kind of roll the chin toward the chest a bit, or the chin toward the sky. Just play with rotations and angles until you feel that perfect release. And then float the head right back up. And we'll relocate the hands on the other side. So if you've got that clasp, hands are now on the left waist, or if you're just doing the tuck of the arm, right arm in the small of the back. If you've got the clasp, hug those elbows together, and then take your left ear toward your left shoulder. This is my side. If you don't fall into the perfect place right away, you're not really feeling much, play with the rotation of head. Another massage moment. And then let the head come back up. Release those arms, take the hands to the sky, and let's keep moving. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And as you fold, we're going to plant the hands and make that journey back to downward facing dog. So some of you walk back, some of you plank pose. We'll take that vinyasa if you want. Knees up or down, Chaturanga. Inhaling into the back bend of any height that feels good for you and your body this morning. And then making your way back, downward facing dog. When you're ready, and if it makes sense, left leg lifts. And foot between the hands. We rise, crescent pose. Once you're ready, back heel lands, warrior two. So let the front knee and toes point straight forward. I'm going to turn this way so you don't get my butt shot. And then give your hands that something imaginary to push down into. Feel that lift and buoyancy of the heart. Keep your legs as they are. Let's inhale, reverse. Right hand down the back leg, left hand up. Exhale, left elbow, left thigh. Right hand up or forward. We'll go back and forth there 2 more times. Reverse inhale. Exhale, side angle. One more time, reverse. And side angle. We'll come back up, arms parallel to the ground for warrior two. And then we'll turn those left toes to the long side of your mat, feet parallel once again. So we'll start towards your back leg, which is your right leg. We'll bend that knee, hands to thigh. So skater pose, right? We've been here before. This is option 1. For those of you that prefer, I call them Spider-Man lunges, Skandasana. You could bend down lower, but if this doesn't feel good in your knee, just stay up higher. So if you bend down lower, you come onto the heel of your left leg. And then let's go to the other side. So skater or that Spider-Man lunge to the left leg. Let's go back to the right leg. You choose the option that works for your body and a pace between the two that feels right. To your left leg. Let's do each one more time. To the right leg. Just letting it become more familiar and easy in your body every time you visit it. To the left leg. And then let's head back toward that right leg one more time. Because this time as you go to the left, we're going to make that full turn. Hands to the ground around your front foot. And let's step forward, feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Come on up, chair pose. Just one breath here. Root into those heels. Straighten the legs, rise up. And hands to heart. Full, complete breath in. Full breath out. So let's set our gaze somewhere that feels stable and steady. Ideally, it's an object that doesn't move. Let's shift into your right foot and start to bring your left knee up toward the chest. Feel your stability here, even if it feels really wobbly. What can feel stable? Breath, eyes, maybe your mind. And if it makes sense for you today, let's start to take that left knee out to the side, and we're going to place your left foot on thigh, calf, or ankle for your tree pose this morning. Grow some branches if it makes sense. And if you step out, just take a breath, come back in. And then turn that left knee forward. Let the foot come to the ground and let the hands come on down by your side. Full breath in with 2 feet on the ground. Full breath out. Set your eyes, set your gaze, set your breath. And we'll shift into that left foot, right knee comes up. Set your balance here. Maybe hands are by your sides, maybe they're at your heart. It's really not important. It's what helps you to feel stable and steady here. And the more you feel, the more you observe, the more you notice, the more you have this conversation with yourself, the more you'll have an idea of what you need to feel supported and feel stable. Knee toward the right, if it makes sense. Foot for tree pose, calf, thigh, ankle, whatever feels like a good spot for that foot. And then right into the stability and the steadiness that you're able to create. Whatever is happening with your body, fine. But can the breath be stable? Can the eyes be steady? Can your mind be still enough to notice and observe? Knee forward, foot down. 2 feet on the ground, 2 hands to the sky. Let's inhale, get tall, get long. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Now, if you're not really feeling the down dogs this morning, as we fold, I'm going to invite you to stay here, and I will instruct you how to step back into your next standing poses from here. If down dog is feeling nice, let's step back to down dog. And if you want that vinyasa, if you want to keep moving, inhale, plank. Knees up or down, chaturanga. Back bend of your choosing. And downward facing dog. So from wherever you're at, we're going to end up with right foot between your hands, left leg back. So if you're in that down dog, right foot to the sky, inhale. Any way that works for you, foot between the hands. If you were in that forward fold, you'll step your left leg back. Let's come on up into your crescent lunge. And once you found your feet, let's tip forward, hands to heart. And just get super long from the back heel through the crown of the head. Fill the shape with breath. Fill it with connection. Stay here if you'd like. If the balance is feeling nice this morning, let's come on up to your right foot, left leg lifts. Hands can stay at heart, or you could reach them back or forward, whatever feels nice. Wherever you're at, 2 more really full breaths. And then bend that front knee, step back. 2 hands to the sky. And then 2 hands to the ground around your front foot. Option to stay here and maybe sway a little forward and back. If it feels good in your body this morning, let that front leg straighten any amount towards straight. Couple breaths here to notice, to feel. To be fully and completely here before we move on to the next thing. If the front leg is straight, go ahead and bend the knee, plant your hands. And I want you to step into that place of transition that you've chosen. So if you started in forward fold, go back to forward fold. If you started in down dog, go back to down dog, honoring what you need. And if you need that vinyasa, we've got about 5 breaths here for you to move through that vinyasa and to meet us either in forward fold or down dog. However it works for you from wherever you're at, left leg to the sky, or left foot forward between your hands. If you're in down dog, foot to the sky, then step forward. If you're in your forward fold, right leg steps back. We'll come on up, Crescent Lunge. Once you've found your stability here, let's bring hands to heart, tip forward over that front thigh. Feel that line of the body. If this is bothering your low back, hands to front thigh is a great way to support the low back. If you want to balance and fly here, when you're ready, come on up to that left foot. Right leg lifts. Hands at heart, or reaching back or reaching forward, whatever brings joy to your body this morning. One more breath here. And then we step it back. Hands to the sky, reach up. Hands to the floor. Again, you have the invitation to stay and take a little rock forward and back. You also have the invitation to straighten that front leg any amount. Let's bend that front knee. Make your way back to downward facing dog if it feels all right to do that. Your forward fold is definitely a good place of transition as well if you'd like. Maybe a vinyasa is nice here. Maybe for some of you, knees to the floor, knees wide, feet together, child's pose. We have one more round of flow to do because we're going to put everything together. So take a moment here and a few breaths to really stabilize and steady out the breath. Feel the fullness of your breath in 360 degrees around your waist. And then when you're ready, let's make our way back to down dog for our last round of standing postures. Slowing it down at any point that you need to, lingering longer anywhere you want to, skipping things as you need to. When you're ready, right leg lifts if it makes sense, and foot between your hands. There's not going to be anything new here, just a bunch of stuff we've done, but strung together. Come on up, inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, let's lean forward, hands to heart. Stay here if you'd like, or inhale, come on up, warrior 3. We'll stay wherever you're at for a full exhale, a full inhale, and then step it right on back into your crescent pose. Hands to the sky. Ground your back heel, open up, warrior 2. Let's reverse inhale. And side angle exhale. Let's stay for one more round of that. Reverse inhale. And side angle. And then we're going to turn toward that left leg and take either your Spider-Man or your skater lunge. So left knee bends, right leg is straight. Full breath here. Find the shape, feel it, settle in. And then let's take that full rotation to the front of the mat. All 10 toes point forward, hands to the ground, and we'll step your left foot forward to meet your right. Inhale, chair pose. Stay for your exhale. When you're ready, we'll step into your right foot and bring that left knee up into your chest. Stay here, or left knee turns out, left foot to thigh, calf, or ankle, tree pose. Big full inhale. Full exhale. Let's turn that left knee back forward and step your left foot all the way back into your lunge. Inhale, hands to the sky, get long. And then as you exhale, we'll take the arms forward. Left arm will stay. Right arm drops down and back. Inhale, take the right arm forward, both hands to the sky. And hands to the floor around your front foot. Stay here, rocking front to back, or straighten the front leg. Feel what you need to feel. Notice what there is to notice. Resettle into your steadiness. Any way that works for you. Downward facing dog. Maybe a vinyasa, maybe a child's pose. Couple breaths to reset, to check in, to continue that conversation with yourself. So if that flow came at you from nowhere and you're like, what the what? As we head into the side, worry a little less about getting all the poses. There's got to be a couple in that sequence that you remember and really resonate with from this morning's practice. And maybe you just try to settle into those along the way. Maintain the breath. Let that really be the focus. Everything else can be let go. So when you're ready, home stretch here, final round, left leg to the sky, and foot between your hands. We rise, crescent lunge. And once you're settled, let's bring hands to heart, lean forward. Stay here, or inhale, warrior three. We'll stay for your exhale. Stay for the inhale. And then as you exhale, bend that front knee, step back, hands to the sky. Let's ground your back heel, open up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, reverse. And side angle. We'll take skater or Spider-Man to the right leg. Full breath here. And then we're turning the body to the front. All 10 toes point forward. And we'll step that back foot to meet the front. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees and come on up, chair. When you're ready, we'll step into that left foot. Right knee comes on up. Right knee to the side if it makes sense. Place the foot for one breath of tree pose. And then right knee forward. Step it back into your lunge. As you exhale, we'll take the arms forward. Right arm will stay. Left arm drops down and back. Left arm down, forward, and both arms up. And fold, hands to the ground. Little sway forward and back. Or let that front leg straighten and fold. Feel that release, that moment of, I made it. There's no more standing work, at least, to be done here today. And then let's go ahead and bend that front knee, bring the hands to the ground. Downward facing dog, and from down dog, if you want one more vinyasa, go for it. Everyone else, knees to the ground, knees wide, toes together, child's pose. As you find child's pose, option to keep the arms straight out in front of you, option to bend the elbows, press the hands into prayer, and let that prayer settle behind your head. Feel the fullness of your breath. And 360 degrees around your waist, and also all the way across the backside of your body. Just feel all of that space and breathe into it. And then let the hands come to the ground in front of you if they're in that prayer shape. And we're going to uncoil ourselves. Just crawl all the way out onto the belly. And let's come into Sphinx. Elbows below your shoulders. And you'd want to make sure that the elbows aren't too far forward or too far back. So just right below the shoulders. Palms can either be pressing down or they can clasp. And we'll take Sphinx pose here. So let the pelvis be heavy. Let the legs be long. And lift up through the crown of the head as the shoulders move down and back. Those of you that are feeling some tension in the neck and shoulders, me, that's the story of my tension holding patterns. You're going to take your chin towards your chest and let that head fall. Keep moving the shoulders away from the ears and back. And then maybe let your right ear roll toward your right shoulder, really root down through your left elbow. Chin back to chest. Left ear, left shoulder as you root into that right elbow. And then chin back to chest. And let your head lift up ever so gently, straight up toward the sky. Last couple breaths here. Really breathe deeply into the belly. Let this be an elongation for the front of the thighs and the abdomen. Those of you that want a little more, you're going to press into the hands, lift the elbows for seal pose. If you try it and you're like, ugh, just put the elbows back down. And if the elbows are lifted, let them come down. And then let those elbows turn to the sides, hands come in, and you're either going to place the forehead on the back of the hands with the hands stacked, or you'll just let the arms do their thing and you'll bring a cheek to the ground, up to you. We're going to start with our left leg so you can see it. We're going to pull that left leg out to the side into a pose called half frog. So your left knee is going to bend. It's going to be a bunch of right angles. So right angle in the hip, right angle in the knee. That's that 90-degree angle for those of you that middle school math was a long time ago. And then a 90-degree angle in the left ankle as well. And then just let your head get heavy. In a really gentle way, I want you to press that left knee, left foot into the ground and act like you're trying to slide it back in toward your body. Really gently, not a ton of effort there, just a little engagement. Breathe fully into your low back. And then we'll slide that left leg back to where it started behind you, and we'll take that same shape, half frog, in your right leg. So the right knee slides out. Right angle at hip, knee, and ankle. So your right toes are pointing rightward. Very gently press into the right knee and feel like you're trying to slide that leg towards your body. Deep, full breaths in and out. One more breath here. We'll slide that right leg behind you. We're going to make our way over onto our backs. So if you want to just roll over where you're at onto your back, great. If you have a very specific end that your head belongs on, feel free to roll and rotate. And as you come onto the back, we're going to bend the knees, place the feet on the ground. Open your arms out to the sides. Let's take the feet about as wide as your yoga mat and drop those knees over to the right. So you have two independent V's here for your twist. If you prefer the stacked leg version or cross-legged version, feel free to take those options. And then sort of like we had the option for a latched ankle and banana as we started, option to latch your right ankle above your left knee for a little added outer hip release. Couple breaths. Beginning to feel yourself releasing into the support of the ground here. All of the movement and effort subsiding. And then release that right ankle if it's latched. Bring both knees toward the sky. And both knees to the left. Settling in here for side 2 of your twist. If you want to latch that ankle on the right knee or above the right knee, go for it. If you try it and it gives you any pain or discomfort, not worth it. Just keep the foot on the ground. One of the things I love about a moving fluid practice is, for me, it burns off some of the excess, some of the clutter, some of the noise, that then allows me to get still, to find some inner silence where I can feel and notice and observe. And that doesn't always work, and it doesn't work for everyone. Just noticing how this practice of movement left you feeling this morning. Continuing to feel what it is that you need to feel, what is asking for you to pay attention. Release that leg, the left ankle if you have it latched. Bring the knees back to center. And let's bring your knees into your body, your belly there. Grab onto your shins and maybe you give your legs a big, huge hug. You might even hug on so tightly that you bring your nose up towards your knees and maybe your knees need kisses. And let the head come down if it's lifted. If there's a remaining shape or pose or movement that your body needs, take it. Give yourself some time for it. And if your body is ready for relaxation and release, let those legs stretch out towards straight or any shape that's comfortable for your low back. And allow your arms to find the ground beside you. As you settle in here, feel the back of your body beginning to melt into the ground. Heels, calves, glutes, low back, mid and upper back, the back of your shoulders and your arms, the back of your head. And allow yourself in this moment to be held, to be supported, to be at peace. If you are craving and want a little more time here today, definitely linger and take that time for yourself. If sunshine is calling your name and you are ready to begin that transition into your Saturday, start to deepen the breath, letting it settle into a rhythm that can guide you into the rest of your day. And as you feel ready to add movement back into your body, add that movement back in gently and slowly. Allow that movement to guide you little by little up to a comfortable seat. No rush, take your time. As you find that seat, let your palms come together in front of your heart. Honoring yourself this weekend by continuing this conversation of your practice, this checking in as you go of what do you need to feel, what is asking to be paid attention to, what needs you're noticing in your observation. Thank you all so much for practicing together this morning. The light within me honors the light within each of you. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed your Saturday morning practice. I definitely did. A couple things before you head off. So thank you so much for all of the contributions and donations. They're much appreciated. If you are able to give for class, it's a suggested donation of about $5 per person. But give what you can, pay what you can, and pass on the gratitude as you can. The information to donate is in the description of the class and then also on our website. Venmo and PayPal are fantastic. We are giving away this morning a $15 gift card to Thunder Island Brewing, which is one of our very, very favorite spots in Oregon. And we're hoping to be back there at some point this summer. So post a picture of your practice or yoga and beer, something, a sticker, or your shirt or whatever this weekend, tag us on social media and we'll do that drawing for $15 to that brewery, Thunder Island Brewing in the Columbia Gorge, which is an amazing brewery to stop at after you go hiking, which is also coming up soon, hopefully. That is all for now. We've got class Saturday. Today is Saturday. Monday at 6, Wednesday at 6, and then next Saturday at 10. I'm teaching Monday and Saturday. Seville is teaching Wednesday this week. And I think that is all for now. I'll put the link to Zoom here in the chat in a moment if you want to come chat, but I also understand that sunshine is calling. Thank you, Lisa. I'm glad that's what you needed today. Angela, thank you. Wendy, thank you. Always good to have you with us. Lori, I thought you might like that. Michael, thank you so much for being here. Thanks, Danny. I hope you enjoy your week. We'll see you next Saturday. Thanks, Claire. Thanks, Patty. Michael, I'm so glad you enjoyed. Oh, yay. Thanks, Nicole. I really liked that one too. So I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Guys, I just fell off a block. Thank you, Yuka. Katie, I miss you. Thank you, friend, for joining us this way. Thank you, Debbie and Heidi and Neil. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is the best. Almost as good, but not as good as being with you in person. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so this class is now recorded and there for you. If you liked it, it's there for you forever and always. All right, guys, I'll stop chatting and awkwardly looking between my phone and the computer screen. Here comes the Zoom link if you would like to chat with us. See you over there momentarily. Thank you, Shelly. You're so welcome. Good to have you guys. I miss you all. I miss you so much. I hope that you enjoy your weekend. Bye, guys. Lauren. Namaste, friend. Thank you. Thanks, Mom. All right. Ta-ta for now, guys. Bye.